All right, folks. Evidently, we're live back in Call of the Wild the Angler again. Appreciate you joining if you did. Sorry, my dog's trying to come out from under the covers. She's about to trip and fall off the bed. So we were in here yesterday. I'm sure if any of y'all had really good time fishing with Tartarus's little boy. He was a trip. But it's kind of like fishing with kids in real life. Just fun to do, but without losing all your tackle to snags and snaps. He came on. They're 6 hours ahead of me in the Netherlands. So as I was laying down last night at 12:30, it was 6:30 a.m. there, and his little boy had just gotten back up and came online. I kind of felt like he was all excited to go fishing again, but for some reason my Discord, like the mic wouldn't work. I did a reboot and came back, and of course he was gone. And I was like, man, I hope he didn't feel like I was ignoring him or something. But yeah, it was right cute and fun. But hopefully they'll pop back on today and we'll do a little bit more fishing together because that was great fun. Must have been a graphic glitch. It looked like something fizzling over here, like I needed to get something.
Buck, I'm getting wiggle on down to Silver Strand Meadows.
All right.
So catch me there.
So we were on catching a bass here the last time. Let's see if we can make that happen. Probably not. Alright, what do I got on here? I don't think that's gonna work. Let me check. Popper frog, crankbait, minnow, grub, shad, tube, eggs. I don't know if I have any. Oh, I have red worm. We can try that. Crap. Gotta fix that. Which I probably want to for a bigger fish anyway. Oops. Alright. Let's go right about there. Looks good to me. Come on, Big Daddy Bass. You know you want that worm. Huh? You ain't getting a bite. Since when do fish not like worms? That's like all it used to be for bait before all the fancy baits come out. Whatever you could find under a log or something. Or roaming shallow creeks. I'm real surprised they don't have crawdads or crawfish on here. That's one of the best bass baits in the world. That or like hellgrammites. Which if anybody knows what a Dobson fly is, it's got 4 wings like a dragonfly, and they're about as long as a dragonfly, but they are a nasty looking bug. They got big old pincher mandibles on the front. But they start out as a little nasty segmented worm in the water with the pincher on the front called a hellgrammite. And I'm going to tell you what, smallmouth bass and largemouth bass will pass up a gourmet buffet for hellgrammites in real life. That's what we use here on the river. Go down in the creek that I drive through every day, set up a seine, a minnow seine, but you can catch the hellgrammites with it also if you got one, as tight a mesh pattern as screen. You can even make one out of old screen if it's flexible, the fabric screen, not the metal. But anyway, start stirring rocks over, and when stuff goes that way and hits the net, the fine silk goes on through. You might catch a few clumps of dirt to sift through, but when you pull that net out, you should have all kinds of bait. Anyway, I've even sat there with a 1/4 inch piece, or not even that big, maybe 3/16 long piece of worm on the very tiniest hook that I could get. I don't even remember what that was. It was tiny, like for minnows or something. But and just dip that in the creek until the crawdad pinches a hold of it, lift him up out of there, and when he panics and let go, he drops right into my bucket in my other hand. So stuff like that. And then, of course, if we're catfishing at night down on the river, we just go above the creek, or above the spillway, if you will, the waterfall, onto the mill pond. Mill's been gone for 100 and some years, but the pond and the spillway are still there. But you go up in the pond and catch bluegill, any kind of sunfish species, about palm size or bigger. You can get the little ones, but that's what you'll catch. Just remember, just like in the game, what can fit it in its mouth dictates how big of a fish that you catch. So the bigger the bluegill or green ear sunfish that you catch, or rockfish or rock bass, the bigger the catfish is going to have to be. Now, they got pretty big, wide mouths, but you'd still be surprised how easily a smaller catfish can choke on a good sized bluegill and choke himself real quick trying to eat it. Bluegill fan that top dorsal out, and get stuck going halfway down the catfish's throat, and he's in big trouble. Big trouble. Alright, so clearly, a red worm is not it. Let's try minnows. I ain't never seen fish that don't like minnows either. We'll give it a go. I don't even see any bass, to be honest with you. I don't remember if it said legendary fish when I came. Yeah, it did. Okay. I've been having that also, a few times in the past couple days. When you load, it doesn't say that the legendary fish loads, or else way later I noticed it an hour and a half after coming back in, it said the legendary fish has gone into hiding ... for now. I was like, okay, that's a new one. I guess I also thought that the legendary fish could only be caught once a week, by one person. But I guess every person can catch a legendary fish once a week, from what I'm gathering. But anyway, I was wondering, because I watched 4 people in 20 minutes get the Monstrica, or however it is, in the Spanish map. One right after the other, they were nailing that thing. I wanted to get in on it, but I ain't got nothing that heavy yet. We're working on it. Man, I'd be happy to see a fish. Even if it wasn't a bass. I don't see anything swimming around here. Let's take a look what the first 3 things were again. Popper, frog, crankbait. So let's tailor it towards that. I did not want that. I did not look to see whether that would work. Let me check that. Shad does work. Let's try it while we got it. I've seen one fish jump out in those lily pads. I can't even say it was a bass. Most likely it was. Can't even say it was because I don't know. I don't have my popper with me. Yeah, I just don't get it. I cannot trigger or elicit a bite here for anything from a bass. I don't have that trouble in real life. I know exactly what bass like. Stupid game. Alright, so obviously this ain't it. Let's set ourselves up for success a little better. We'll go get everything on the board again and try it. Maybe leaving that area and coming back will help.
Salutations. Beautiful day
salutations.
we're having. What'll it be?
It'll be shut your face. We're gonna keep that. Those. Actually, we're gonna get rid of that. Grab. Oops. Grab that. Gotta make room. Do I have line for that? I thought I had another. Might have to buy another one. Sell the purple. Oh, of course I can't sell the purple. Oh, I hate this game sometimes. Wait a minute. What are you telling me? That's just new. You better work on my daggone rod. Alright, so lures. I'm actually. They say they like them, but I can't ever get them to hit it. They do in real life, though. Largemouth. Let's see. Put the popper in there. Oops. that's my biggest. Maybe that's the problem. Let's go with the 3. I had a swim bait. I guess I sold it. Oops. Well, wait a minute. We need... So, we need redworm, leeches, minnow, eggs. Alright.
Here's what I've got.
We need the egg. Redworm. Leeches. Crap, I forgot what the other one was. Redworm, leeches, minnow, and eggs, I believe. Redworm, leeches, minnow, and eggs, yes. Let's see what they got.
What piques your interest?
So I've unlocked and I have some of everything that they have. Alright, that's fine. Before we leave, make sure we can set this up right. Why? It takes up to 0.014 and the line is 0.013. Why? The other one takes the 0.013 line. Oh, the rod. Max strength. Max line strength, 6.61. We need a different feeder rod. That thing is... ain't gonna cut it.
Have a browse.
There we go. That's what we need. It's gonna leave me broke, but there it is. Alright, so what the actual... Max line strength, 13.23. That's exactly where we're at. Oh, we're at the 15. God bless. Fine. I'll sell the heavier line, you stupid cow.
Take a look at these.
I probably don't have enough now. Nope, I won't. Son of a biscuit eater. Nope, sure don't. 325. What else can we sell? Definitely not that. Definitely not those. Definitely not that. Do I want to sell that? Yep, we'll come back for it.
one right on the rocks.
You start paying attention to the max line weights and all that on the rod, so I stop wasting my money that way. Alright, so it's too big for that. Too big. Oh, I can put the eggs on that. That'll work. Alright, now back to here. Yeah, it's right there. I'll get a stupid car. Oh, there it is. I was like, I know there's a car thing here. Yeah, so I've really been enjoying this. I had a pretty good flexible schedule with my work, but things are starting to shift as much as I hate to say it. And I see the writing on the wall. So something's got to make a change here soon. I'm not making the money I need to at the work that I was doing. I'm going to have to find something else. Kind of see the walls closing in on me, if you will. So this channel may go away for a little bit, if not indefinitely, until I get stuff back in order. I hate to have to do that again, but I'm not independently wealthy, unfortunately, so doesn't work that way for me. Got some major bills that are kind of just closing in on me, and I'm not making enough fast enough to take care of those. I don't know what's going to happen, but trying not to fret and worry too much, because the only thing that changes is your health. Putting my faith in God, I know He's got me. Don't know what the big picture and the big plan is yet, but He always has me. God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. You gonna bite all day, or you gonna take it? Evidently just bite all day. That's my first bluegill. It's a silver. Nice. Hey, we'll earn some of those and make some of that money back. Can't say free money because it's still using my bait, but I'm just glad we got a bite and caught a fish. This hole's been pretty dead for me every time I come here. Ooh, there's a fish. That was a bass too. If it wasn't a bass, it was probably a gold bluegill, because that was big. Here comes something. I think I saw it. Oh, and I missed because I was in that stupid view. Daggone it, man. Yes, I saw you swim away, you big bastard. I think that was my gold bass, man. We'll leave it here for a second. See if they hit again. Probably not. Daggone it, man. Note to self and anybody else. Don't hit to set the hook when you're in focus view. Come out of that real quick and then do it. Joystick doesn't go up far enough to actually set the hook. But yeah, I've just been praying hard and trusting harder. The God's going to provide something here. I've applied for some other very lucrative jobs, totally different direction in employment. It's what my degree is in, actually. I've had an associate's degree in drafting since 2007 and only worked 2 jobs like in the following 2 to 5 years after that, you know, actually putting those skills to work. Anybody old enough, oh, there's something, that's not a bass though, it's a bluegill. Anybody old enough to remember 2008 to 2014, we had the sequestration and all that going on. Jobs kind of became a little bit scarce, especially in that sector. Green sunfish, silver. Nice. See, that right there would go on a hook to the river. A little over ½ pound. Yeah, that would be flathead bait. That's what that would be. And go right in the bucket for later. Anyway, applied to a couple very lucrative positions here locally. It was just a couple weeks before Christmas, though, so I'm hoping that I haven't heard anything because they're just, you know, getting caught back up from holidays and all that. They probably just put that on the back burner for Christmas and New Year's, but I'm definitely not stopping looking, you know, just to wait on those. I was just holding out some hope. Either one of them would have been really nice. I think I'm kind of way overqualified for the one, but, and that's okay. You know, I'm 53. I'm at an age where I don't have to be making, you know, the top dollar out there. I just need enough to be comfortable and pay my bills and have a little bit to put back like anybody else wants. I'm not asking to be rich. That's how I know God will bless it. Because it's with the right intentions. And for me to go work and earn it myself. I'm not asking him to throw money in my lap. That's just vain and haughty and unrealistic. Don't get it twisted. If God willed to throw some money in your lap, he will. In one way or another, it'll happen. But it's just not something that normally happens, or definitely not something you should pray for. I wouldn't think. Again, that's not even what I'm looking for. I just need enough coming in to not sit here and stress and worry, which doesn't change anything but my health. I hit a deer last week on one of my routes. I was 3 stops from finishing my deliveries and hit a deer in my Subaru, and she come from the right side and the damage is on the left. That tells you I almost stopped in time, but I was on gravel. It really wasn't that bad of damage. It broke the plastic insert for the fog light if it had fog lights. You know, this is a base model Crosstrek, so it didn't come with fog lights. It just has the dummy insert in the bumper. Broke that out, popped the bumper wrap out on the driver's side, which I popped back in. It was not broken, it just literally came loose. I gave it the old Fonzarelli thump, and it popped right back in. But it broke a little bit of the grill. Well, I was thinking that was the extent of it. There wasn't no lights on, everything was running fine. I drove home fine, made the insurance claim and all that, and I think a piece of the grill damaged the trans cooler or the condenser there in front of your radiator. I don't see any physical damage, but night before last, coming in from a route, I went through the creek like I do to come home, went up to the mailbox, got the mail. When I was backing up in the cul-de-sac to turn around and come back, every light on the dash came on. It started out AT oil temp, so automatic transmission oil temp. Then it went to check engine, the camera system turned off, the Subaru Intelligent Drive turned off. Like I said, I got a warning light for pretty much every system on that car on the dash, and it's like, what in the world is going on? And I limped it back down the fire path, you know, from the mailboxes to the house. I say limped it, I just took it easy. In other words, I wasn't trying to push anything because I didn't know what was going on. And when I came up the hill for the driveway to the house, it acted like it was struggling a little, like it was underpowered. Waited, it was pitch black dark, so I waited till morning yesterday morning, went out, checked it over. It's full of oil. There is no dipstick for the transmission. It's either sealed and you got to pull a plug, like at the dealer, like you would on a rear end. You have a high plug and a low plug. Low plug to drain, high plug to fill, and check. But anyway, I assume that's what's on that CVT transmission. But anyway, everything looks fine. It was very low on coolant. That's what makes me think that trans cooler took a hit. And that might be, you know, it overheated. Because the AT trans, or oil trans, is the light that came on first and triggered everything. That's what my assumption is. Hopefully the insurance will... They said if there was more damage found, they would pick it up. I haven't even taken it to a shop yet. You know, it was drivable, and I needed to keep working as much as I could. So, I'm going to have to schedule it, obviously, now, because I don't think I can or should drive it like that. Which means that now I'm down, you know, out of work again. I can't afford this. But that's where I found my brain, is stressing mentally on that kind of stuff and trying to convince myself it ain't worth stressing over because it ain't going to change a thing. We all do this. It's human nature. Can't see the future and know things are wrong and can't change it in the moment, so you start worrying about it. And I'm called the one Virginian for a reason. I don't have any family here anymore. So I'm kind of in this on my own. Whatever may come. That was an unusual strike. I didn't even get a ding. It's all right, Prince. But anyway, I'm sorry for dumping my troubles on you. I wasn't trying to do all that. Just talking through where I'm at the moment, and that the channel might have to go for a little bit if something comes through. Or if it doesn't, just till I make something come through. Oh, we ain't making much money on those at all. Shoot. I thought those silvers would pay a lot better. Alright. Next thing is, we ain't catching nothing but bluegill, so switch tactic here. What I got on there? Crank? No, frog. I wonder if my frog's too big. I didn't think to check that. Bubba, just be quiet. I'll take you in just a minute. I'm gonna have to let him out. I see what you want. You don't have to fuss at me about it. Be right back. Come on, buddy. Gonna potty. Since you need to go out. Come on, babe. All right. You gonna wait, then you don't bug me. Yeah, we got time for a couple casts. He's gonna go take a big old poopity doopity. I can tell by the way he was marching. I know that boy. And with the urgency, he was bugging me. He was trying to tell me, Dad, I got poop. Like, now. Poopity doopity. Little Miss Baby Girl over here on the bed. She's a lazy late riser. But she's also the boss of our lives. When she decides to get up, it's like she'll stand up on the bed and put her front paws over on my chair here beside the bed and like start demanding. 8 years old and still ain't figured out she ain't the boss. Well, in her mind, I guess she still thinks that I ain't figured out who the boss is. I only put up with so much of that, though. For I'll just walk over and put a hand on your collar and tell you, no, you're going right now. And then she does with no resistance. She's just a stubborn-willed little thing. That bully nature. Staffordshire Bull Terrier. Prince is American Staffordshire Terrier mixed with Greyhound of all things. He looks like a pit bull from the shoulders and hips up. Like he's got a brindle coat, and pit bull head, but he's got a big, tall, skinny, long chest and real long, skinny legs like a greyhound. And boy, was he fast when he was little. Oh my God. He's passed away now, but one of my crazy neighbors that used to live here had a Razor 1000, and he used to tear up and down this fire trail, and man, that dog could keep right with him. And the other thing was, when he was little, he would chase the deer. He wasn't trying to hurt them at all. It was just about the running and the chasing for him. He'd get this big old derp smile on his face, running through the woods, would pass the deer, they'd come to a screeching halt and like turn, an angle, turn another direction. He stops, big old doofy smile, takes right back off after them. Of course, I'm yelling the whole time, "Get back here!" He was funny when he was little. He was so fast. He's 10 now, and his body's really starting to betray him. It's hard to watch. This is my 7th and 8th pit bull rescue. I've had 23 dogs, though, in my life. We had 2 oops litters of border collies that I'm the kind of person, I'm not going to take them and dump them off at the pound. That was our mistake. We learned a lot about how determined a male dog is when a female's in heat. He will break welded chain link wire with his face to get through to get to her in another pen. No kidding. Ask me how I know. Twice. Anyway, so we've had a lot of dogs on this hill over the year. Again, it's just me now. I'm divorced since 2018, but they're not my first dogs is what the point was. Not my first pit bulls either. I just got a thing for them. They get a pretty bad, unfair shake, in life because people just have a predisposition about them, and it's all because of what stupid humans did and taught them. It's nothing the dog does naturally. Most pit bulls are big, squishy-faced love bugs. As a baby, it's all in. They're a product of their environment. Any dog. What you raise them to be is what you get. All right, Bubba Bass, we're waiting on you. My line looked like that's pretty tight. I did grab my popper, didn't I? Tartar said he got this just dragging the popper through here on a constant reel. I can't get him to hit that thing for nothing. And with most of these fish in here, if I'm not getting them with the lures, I switch to either top water fishing or bottom fishing, and that's when I usually catch, but it's just a matter of finding the bait that they want. Just like in real life. I do think the game makes it a little more tedious than it needs to be sometimes. It is a game that's supposed to be fun, and if you want to keep people's attention, you should probably give them a little more action. Like I said, if I wanted to sit and not catch anything, I'd just go fishing for real. Doesn't make for great content just watching somebody stare at the water and talk about their problems in life. Nobody wants to hear that. So if y'all been watching like the this stream or the Battlefield 2042, you've probably heard the guy I call BA. He'll always be BA to me, but it's Diesel Man. Anyway, he's got an older version of Xbox, and evidently it's not truly crossplay like it says it is on that game with us. That sucks. Trying to talk him into upgrading. Ain't like he can't afford it. Yeah, I said that. Anyway. Hopefully he'll do that and be able to get back. That's my longest running online gaming friend since 2000. But everybody's life kind of took different directions, 8 or 10 years ago for whatever reason. And of course, COVID. I guess I'd never finished my train of thought. I did have a business. I started in 2014, which was the year my ex-wife left. The divorce wasn't final until 2018, but I did really well all the way up until COVID. A big portion of my income doing that. It was a handyman service. I did a little bit bigger projects because I come from a masonry background also before I ever got a drafting degree. I did masonry and construction for over 30 years, and tire and mechanical work. But I'm the kind of person where if one thing starts drying up, I look for the next best thing, and move on. But so that's why I've worn a lot of hats is what I'm getting at. I'm also UXO certified, unexploded ordnance. So like I said, I've worn a lot of hats. At any rate, once COVID hit, one of the biggest portions of my income was called Amazon in-home services, like people who buy trampolines, treadmills, barbecue grills, whatever. I've even replaced doing that. I was replacing garbage disposals. I'm not a master or certified plumber, so you can't pipe or install garbage disposal in Virginia like that. But if you're replacing an existing, you can do that. So, at any rate, those paid real good. Trampolines did too. But COVID came along, of course, because it's called in-home services. Even if you're outdoors doing a grill or a trampoline, they niched the whole program because you can't be going places. We had the social separation mandates in order and all that. But that's really what killed my business, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think it hurt a lot of small businesses, especially, in the service type work, because if you can't go do service, you are not making money, obviously. And that's actually how I got into Amazon. I started working in the warehouse first at the distribution center, I just said that wrong. Distribution center, no, I didn't say it wrong. It is a distribution center, but it's called a sorting facility because the fulfillment centers is what they just built. That's the place in Fishersville that, when you make an order, they actually box your order. I worked at the place where the pallets of those boxes and Jiffy envelopes come in, and we sort them and induct them and separate them into the daily routes for the drivers. I did that for not a year, it's 11 months. And just got the politics in that place were just too much. I'm not going to say any more. That is a bass. I don't think it's a gold, though. Bronze. Alright. But anyway, so I went from doing the warehouse thing to being one of the drivers doing the vans. I did that for a year and 2 months with one company, and then they screwed a whole bunch of us over. I mean, just flat out screwing you over for your money. And that's one thing I don't play about is my money. If I've done the work and you owe me the money, do not play around with my money. I left there on my own volition, rather than cause trouble, if you will. And I went to one of the other companies that was brand new there driving the vans. And that place, I've come to find out all of those DSP companies are basically like me. They're independent contractors, but just on a big scale. Like they have a company with, lots of employees and vans and all that stuff. We're supposed to get what's called a weekly bonus and a Fantastic Plus bonus. The weekly bonus is if the whole team earns Fantastic Plus ratings, like you didn't get any speeding violations, failures to stop, distracted driving, especially because the vans have cameras in them, and that's supposedly 98% of accidents are caused by distracted driving. You had to watch all those stupid videos, which most of us know that's common sense. But anyway, so if you got dinged for that, like the first time you get a 3-day suspension. I've never had that though. And the second time they tell the DSP that if you're caught a third time, they have to let you go. Even though they don't own that company, you're running their product for them. So they have the authority to tell that DSP that that driver cannot drive for you doing this. Anyway, week after week, the team would either earn the weekly bonus and we wouldn't get the thing because other people damage vans. That's another thing. I told them every day I did no Jean-Claude. And they're like, what? I said, I have done no Jean-Claude van damage to any of your vehicles. And I would take pictures every morning because this one lady in particular in dispatch, she's not there in the mornings, but she's there when you get back in the evenings from your route. And almost every time this lady would be walking around my van doing inspections, like, was that there? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, I've got pictures. One time I said that, she's like, let me see. Excuse me? Okay. So I opened my personal phone, showed her a picture from the previous Thursday when I had that van. You don't get the same van every day. And so I was able to prove, but it's like that kind of stuff, you know. If I said I didn't do it, I didn't do it. If I did damage something, I get it. Not everybody's character is the same, but my character, I will come tell you I did it and show you what I did. I'm not like that. Anyway. So even with doing no damage, I wasn't getting bonus. Then I was earning Fantastic Plus on my own by not getting any violations. And I never once got a bonus at that place like I was supposed to. I brought it up to the owner a week and a half before I just walked out of that place too. And he was like, okay, well, you know, with all the vans being damaged, I ain't really got the extra money. He's like, all the bonus money's going to fixing vans. I was like, but what does that have to do with me? I haven't damaged anything, and this is on a personal level that I'm supposed to be earning that. You owe me like 10 weeks of it. He just made a face like, you know, I ain't giving you that. But anyway, he said, oh, we'll see how it goes next week. So the following week comes. Of course, I earn Fantastic Plus again. No bonus. I was like, you know what? I said, I'm putting my 2 weeks in. He said, what's the problem? I said, well, once again, we were going to see how next week goes. And he started in about the vans again. I said, let me just stop you there. I said, I understand your reason. I said, but that's not a reason enough for me. I earned the bonus. You owed it to me. You don't want to give it. I'm moving on to better things. So I was doing the flex routes, which is still delivering the packages, just on a much smaller scale, like 30 stops or less a day, and it's out of your own personal vehicle. And I was making as good a money in less than 4 hours as I was putting in 10 to 12, you know, sometimes 14 hours a day driving those vans with 200 and some stops. You know, just a much more tedious thing to have to do for the same money. Now, I wasn't getting the health benefits, but I'm not worried about that. I enrolled in the government thing, and I got as good a plan as what they were having. So, at any rate, then, of course, I hit a deer. So, well, we're to the silver. We just need a gold now. That's kind of where we're at. I like doing the flex routes. It's, you know, literally flexible. I pick which route time I want to take every day or whatever, and for what money that they're offering for it, because they don't all pay the same on that either. And the ones that pay the best are actually back this direction from the warehouse is an hour. I live in a place in Central Virginia where it's 45 minutes to an hour no matter which direction I go to get to a bigger city, like for lucrative employment. Out here in I'll just say it, Buckingham County, you're either a logger or you work at the prison facilities, because there's a men's and women's prison in Dillon, or you're a county sheriff. And if you're not that, then you're probably commuting to work, because there's just not a lot to do around here. But so I was driving an hour each way to do the routes. The ones that come back this way from there are the ones that pay the best, and it's on my way home. Win-win. So when I get the car fixed, and depending on what kind of job I get, I'm not gonna, just close out the flex. That's my mainstay at the moment, but it's definitely good side money. You're gonna make a couple hundred in just a few hours, like in the afternoon, if you've got a free day. A couple $100 extra is always welcome, especially when you're behind on stuff. Come on, give me my gold. Nah, too little. Dang, I flung him out the water. Oh, smallmouth silver. Nice. Can I have my largemouth? Is that a possibility? Can we do that? Well, at least we found what they're biting. It's on the bottom, and it's what I got on here, leeches, I believe. He's probably right over there to my right in those lily pads. We're going to try that next. Give it a longer cast. Yeah, fishy, fishy, fishy. I'm probably going to cough my tail off. Also trying to put the cigarettes back down. I had quit for 7 years. And I'll just say it, working at Amazon stresses me out big time. Just, I'll say it. That culture of tolerance. Well, you making me tolerate that stuff is stressing me out. And I literally started smoking cigarettes again, but trying to go back to my vape. But when I do that, phew, does it make me cough for the first couple days. Getting that gook out of your lungs. That old lung butter. Smoking causes from your sinus drainage. I don't know how I ever was dumb enough to pick them things up again. They're so expensive, I don't even want to smoke them. They don't taste that good, but it's just a bad habit. Another silver smallie. Yeah, leeches is what we're on. Alright, so you over there? Yeah, that's about where I wanted to be, too. Nice and taut. Come on, big boy. Put the bite on it. Oh, crap, I forgot Prince's. Fish or no fish, after this one comes in, I gotta let him in. Can't believe he ain't scratching on the door. Normally he starts like scratching on the glass of the storm door. It's got full glass top to bottom, but and trust me, he does it hard enough that he makes sure you can hear him. I want in. It's cold. Alright, what happened? Only 4 in the afternoon. It is getting late, though. I feel something on the force feedback real slightly on the controller. Got one of those Xbox controllers, but it's actually a Thrustmaster brand. Thrustmaster's been making joysticks like since PCs. CPUs were a tenth of what your RAM is now. Old Bill Gates said you never need more than 128K. Yeah. Most CPUs have like that as their L2 cache or better. Some of them are like 2 megabyte and higher now. They've definitely come a long way. And I've been into it since the beginning, thanks to my father. He was into that stuff taught us at very young ages. By the time I was the last year, my 11th grade year of high school, at our school of typing class. Because then the very next year, they switched to computer. And I actually had to take that again, but I excelled at both of them because I'd already been typing on the keyboard, for a long time, doing DOS especially. Everything was code-based back then. You had to type everything in to get the computer to do anything. It was not intuitive like Windows. There was no such thing as Windows. It was DOS-powered and DOS-based for most IBM-compatible PCs, that is. Alright, that for some reason is not a good spot. Let's bring it in some. A little deeper now. Might have been too close to the bank. I know you're out in those lily pads. Watching all the little inexperienced fish get caught. Look at these stupid clowns. Fall for anything. Alright, let me get Prince in real quick. Can you go out? You want to go out? Last chance. I can tell you don't want to yet. Ladybug. Alright, where you at there, big fish? Oops. Good grief, controller. How about happy somewhere in between? I can't even see that. That'll work. Alright, one more time. Pop. I'm surprised they didn't take that opportunity for him to strike. Let's stop biting, y'all. It ain't good. I'm still jumping way over there. But I gotta stand here. is going on in here? Alright, leeches ain't it anymore. They were hitting the egg on the surface, or the bluegill were anyway. It's alright, Prince. Yeah, as I said, his health's kind of turning. He's got something wrong with his right rear leg or paw or something. I don't know. I've tried looking at it. I don't know if he sprained it or what, but he is just acting so weird and fussy. Feel bad for my old man. The vet wants to put him on prednisone. That's a human steroid medicine at that. But some of our other older dogs, yeah, it improved their quality of life a little bit. You know, they weren't acting like they were in pain as much, but it also hastened their end, because that stuff is just bad for your organs and insides. I really don't want to do that to him, but at the same time, I don't want him suffering. I'm not putting him down. It's not like that bad, good grief. Just don't know what else I can do for him. It's alright, little buddy. You're a good boy. You are a very good boy. Yes, that's my very good boy. You're a good girl too. I'm so sorry. Don't mean to leave her out. Little Miss Jealous. Yeah, little Miss Jealous. I'm hoping Tartarus and his son went fishing for real. I don't remember if that was today they were supposed to do that or tomorrow, but hoping maybe that's where they're at, having some fun with that. They went the other day for real pike fishing, but got skunked. That happens. That's why they call it fishing and not catching. It's like hunting and not killing. Speaking of which, if I catch this gold-rated bass and nobody has come in yet and wants to fish, I've been kind of itching to go back in the hunting game for a few days. Kind of took a serious sidestep, and that's all that we were playing at first until I built a new system. Now that I did that last Sunday, it's like haven't even looked at the hunter but once since then. That was that day, I think, that I started the PC back up. I did one stream on it, maybe two. Alright, So worm or eggs, I mean, obviously ain't it. Before I go, yeah, I see you out there. Oh, wait a minute. I wanted to switch. Prince. Just don't know. Princey. Again, game. Yeah, I wonder why some people aren't playing anymore. That would be why. Princey, come in here and lay down, buddy. I don't know what is going on for you. Oops. No, that ain't it. Ah! Prince, that's enough. Try leeches on the top instead of the bottom. I don't know. This is my last thing, though, and then we're going hunting. Fish or no fish. Come in here. Good boy. What's the matter, baby? Get up there. Come on. I got you. What is the matter, my buddy? What's the matter, baby boy? I know you hurting because you don't fuss that much. You a good boy, homie. They love him big time. All my heart, baby boy. Well, it ain't looking good. Popper, frog, and crankbait, which we've tried all three of. Yeah, I ain't into this at all. I will try one more thing. I know that it, like in the hunter, it repopulates the animals, so maybe, since they stopped biting, maybe. It could just be the time of day. Which means we're going hunting, if that's the case. Just know that, going back into this. If they ain't biting, we're going hunting. Am I in the same place? I think I am. Just need to turn around. Alright, legendary fish active. That's a good thing. I don't even know if I'm in the same server or not. Oh, that bait's gonna kill me. Oh, I'm not only in the same server, I'm on the same dock still. It didn't look like it. Alright, any fishies jumping? Any fishies swimming? Why does time look like it's going so fast? Oh, 'cause it is. It's counting back. Good, go to noon. I'm gonna wait for that to stop. My bait's traveling back in time, if not. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. It has a, well, I was gonna say have some old bait, but I guess it'd be some young bait. Wouldn't even be born yet. Some unborn bait. All right, how far are we going? Almost back to 2 p.m. I have a feeling it's gonna go to noon. I like watching the sun and the shadows on the water better than the time clock. Let's do that. There you go. It's all right, little buddy. Be quiet, please. Fussing ain't gonna change a thing. What, are we there? Yep, okay. So we're finally there, 1 o'clock. I guess we'll try this first. I see a big one broiling out there in the middle. Can't even get that far. And that's about how a popper should be. Let's try it. We'll even do it once like Tartarus said, just straight reeling. But I swear 6 is about the speed it needs to be, or it's just not even whipping in the, or popping in the water like it's supposed to. Oops. Yeah, whatever, bass. I do have a theory. I think this crankbait's entirely too big. Maybe the frog too. Oh, now you're trying to boss me to go out. This is exactly what I said. Be right back. Come on. I've asked you 2 times, girl. Let's go. We'll do it, man.
Hey, you old people, what's up?
Alrighty. Gotta get some wood on the fire again, too. What do these fish want?
What you doing?
Fishing. What you up to, brother?
Oh, just in here this morning looking around. I
Yeah.
got the monitor set up finally.
Your second one?
Yeah.
Nice. Tartarus did yesterday, too. I gotta get driver straight, man. I think the only way I'm going to be able to do that stuff is to actually reformat. I really don't want to do that. It's like, even though I got rid of the old drivers because they were Realtek HD audio and the new one's Realtek HD audio, something somewhere probably in the registry files is still hanging on because I've only got stereo port. You know, the other two speaker outputs on the back aren't recognized. The second monitor from the motherboard HDMI isn't recognized. So those drivers somehow still aren't there.
Are you sure you just don't have to turn the HDMI port on your motherboard on in your BIOS?
I did that.
Because mine has in my BIOS, it has a thing to where I can turn my motherboard HDMI card off or on.
Yeah, it's both the high definition audio outputs and the onboard graphics are turned on in the BIOS.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
It's a driver thing. I know it is because it had trouble loading.
Now, did you install the AMD drivers for your board?
Yes. And that's what I was getting at. While I was installing the chipset drivers, those were the two things that gave me trouble. And I used that IOBit software. It has that powerful uninstaller, and that supposedly got to all the root files, but I swear it's still hanging on to something somewhere. And when I talked to AMD support about it, their tech support, and they were the ones that were like, yeah, it's hanging on to something. You're probably going to have to reformat. And I was like, I don't want to do that. So I'll just live with stereo, and I've got a graphic card. If I need to, I'll get a cable from it to run a second monitor, a display port cable. So
yeah, I have my second is my display port that I'm using for my second monitor, and my first monitor I'm using a television. So
right.
It's just my display port one. It's a NVIDIA G-Sync monitor. It's a really good monitor, but it's just too small, because
I didn't even know NVIDIA made monitors. That's cool.
Yeah, well, it's actually it's not an NVIDIA monitor, but it's made for NVIDIA cards. All right.
Gotcha.
But what it is, it's only a 22-inch monitor, and I always watch television in bed when I go to sleep because sometimes I have to watch television to go to sleep. I don't know why, but it's too small for me to see what some things say on the screen when I'm across the screen because I can't see that good anymore.
Yeah,
and so I just got a bigger screen so I can read those things because this thing's, like I said, only 22 inch, and when you're across the room, you can't see what it says. It's too far away. So yeah, I have it here now. I'm setting about 10 inches away from it, and I can see my gamers chat or my people that's in my watch my videos chat.
Nice. Yeah, I had people trying to talk to me yesterday too, and because I don't have the second monitor now, I couldn't see any of that. I can't respond to them anyway, man. For whatever reason, even though I'm logged in, that part of Streamlabs is broken. When you try to click in that text field to type back, it says, please log in to chat or to live chat or something. And it's like if I try to run the stream and Discord and the game, yeah, that's just not a good thing. So.
Well, you got a phone, don't you?
Yeah, I could do it that way.
Well, that's what I was doing until I did this.
I didn't even think of that. I should have.
Nobody ever chatted, so I figured this way don't have to use my phone.
I felt bad last night. I had so much fun fishing with Tartarus's boy yesterday. He's a trip. But I felt bad, man, because at 12:30 last night, of course, it was 6:30 in the morning for them. So he was just getting up, probably all excited, wanting to play, and he came on Discord, and he was like, hello, and I had just finished talking to Tartarus before he left, and for whatever reason, my mic stopped working. So I had to reboot my computer, and by the time I come back, he had left. I was like, man, I hope he didn't think I was ignoring him. I don't ever want a kid to feel like that,
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, he just wasn't important or something. But I felt bad. Anyway, I sent Tartarus a message. I was like, please tell your son, my mic wasn't working. Went to reboot and come back, and he was gone. So didn't want him to feel like I was ignoring him.
Yeah.
He's a cute kid. It was freaking hilarious, man. You could tell they're his kids because while he was playing fishing with me, I was catching. He was catching good fish too, but I was catching silvers, and he goes, "How come you're catching silvers and I only get bronze? You have cheat." Like that, and then he goes. He started getting mad because he 2 times right when he got the fish to the boat, it snapped on him, and that happens to me too a lot. But he started getting mad, and in the background you could hear the littler boy. He was playing Fortnite, and he's like, "Oh no, you," like almost cursing in Dutch. I was like, "Yeah, they're your boys." Ain't no doubt about it. The littlest one though in the background yelling at Fortnite, that was hilarious. He was mad. I mean, like mad. You could tell in his tone. I was like, man, that is funny. I was trying to encourage the one playing with me. I was like, "You're gonna get it." I was like, "I bet your next one's a silver," and it was. Finally.
I finally found that bridge, took a picture of it, and I caught a couple of them sturgeon.
Oh, no, yeah, I got the sturgeon one too. I'd already had the picture. I just couldn't get the sturgeon to bite, but I finally got that one. I'm on a gold largemouth bass now, and I've caught a bunch of silvers and some bronze, and I've even got 2 silver smallmouth bass, but I can't get the largemouth to bite anything. I've got every single thing. Like they give you, like when you go to the handbook, it gives you 3 things that they hit, and if you press the Y button, it tells you everything that they like on the description page. I've got every single thing that it says that they like, and I can't get that large one, the gold one.
I caught a 5-pound sturgeon. It was a silver.
That's a man. I'm surprised that was only a silver. That's a big sturgeon because I think 2.38 or something like that pound when I caught was a silver. So it must have a pretty good range of silvers before it gets to gold. But that's pretty good because those shovel nose are just little sturgeons. They're not like the great big ones.
I caught it on a 4-pound test line.
A 5-pound fish? Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I caught 18 and then a 21 pound on 13-pound line last night with Tartarus. I was like, man, I don't know if this is going to work, but it was those carp, and I figured out how you hoss the carp, and you just have to keep whipping your pole up and to the right or to the left so that it wears them out as they're pulling, and they don't take line from you then. Dude, I had my drag on the carps up on like 80 and 85%, and they weren't snapping it. You just have to hoss them like that. You have to tug, and then he'll come in like 10 feet, and then he'll start to take and you tug, like that. You just keep doing that, man, and I wore him out and was bringing in some really nice ones. Those carp are fun to catch. Well, yeah, you played in there last night on the Spanish one.
I love catching carp in real life. My favorite fish to catch is carp. Everybody around here throws them up on the bank, and I think that's stupid as hell, throwing carp up on the bank.
Man, I know people that eat them, that cut the mud vein out, as they call it, and eat the carp, but that's just so many scales to get off of them, and I'm not that impressed with the meat. I've had it cooked a couple different ways by people who swear by it, and it was like, yeah, there's better fish out there, bro. No offense, but there are better fish out there.
I'll throw all my fish back. I never keep fish.
I do the big catfish, but I was gonna say that's my favorite thing to catch is catfish, and there's some hosses here on the river, but there's the game, the game wardens at every public boat landing have put up signs about PCBs and stuff, like not to eat the fish that are bigger than, I forget if it's like 10 or 12 pounds, and because the older they are, it gets in their fat cells, and it stays in there, whatever toxins are in the river. So most people that I see catch the great big ones, they take them home to eat them. It's like, dude, whatever. If you can't read the sign and understand that they're trying to tell you, that's probably not a good idea. I don't know what to tell you, but
yeah.
So yeah, I eat the ones that are like 8 pounds and smaller, and man, that is some of the best catfish fillets, fresh fillets out of the river, dude. Awesome. I got friends that do that with the bass. They go and on kayak and canoe floats and come back with stringers full of bass, man, and have a big fish fry at the end of the day. I don't really care for smallmouth that much. It's very fishy tasting. It's very hard to get that out. You can put lemon and salt and all that you want on it, but it's hard to get that taste out of smallmouth. They're pretty fishy. Most people say that about catfish too, but it's like I can make a catfish taste real good.
My dad used to be big into crappie.
Oh, dude, I love black and white crappie. That's some of the best meat ever.
Yeah, we used to go all night and catch crappie, then have big fish fry the next day.
Yeah, there's a public lake called Walnut Creek Park in next county over from me. My buddy lives like a half a mile from it, and that place is chock full of black crappie, man. We used to come back with like two and 2.5 pounders. That's like almost citation trophy. But you get a few of those each and come back and have a fish fry, man. You're eating good. His woman at the time used to make the best homemade bread, man. Soft, warm bread with a fresh crappie fish fillet on it. Tomato and yes, sir. Started making my mouth water.
I keep forgetting to push this damn button. I'm so used to not having to, but now I keep forgetting about it.
Oh, to talk.
Yeah.
You can just turn it back to voice activation while we're on here. It's really only Battlefield 2042 that picks up. Like, his brother last night was just open micing the whole time. His name was just on the whole time almost.
Well, I leave mine on open mic, but I use headphones so people don't hear my game.
Right. He obviously wasn't. I think he was on a gaming laptop, and so it's definitely picking up his speakers, but it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I want to leave this on like this because that way, if we're in a game together, if I want to talk to my guys on my stream, I can talk and it won't interrupt you guys.
Yep. I already told my stream if I don't catch this fish in the next few minutes, although I said that before you even came on, that we're going hunting.
Yeah.
I ain't been in the hunting game since Sunday. The first day I built this PC and came online, I went in and I think
that's what I was thinking. Maybe we can go and do a hunt together and stream together.
Yep.
That's what I was thinking. That's what Tartarus said last night. So
For sure.
Get the group together and do a hunt. We can just all together stream. You can stream and I can stream.
What sucks is even if we do talk BA into getting the new Xbox so he can play this and 2042 and some other games with us, you still can't go back to Hunter Call of the Wild for some reason. They didn't make that crossplay.
Yeah.
That sucks. Alright, stream. I'm going to end this one here and we're going to head hunting. Or I am anyway, at least get it open until Trippy joins. But I am bored of staring at the water. And I don't like doing that to my stream, just watching me stare at the water for fish that ain't biting. I've said it 100 times on here. This is for the game developers. If I wanted to sit here and not catch fish all day and stare at water, I'd just go fishing for real. If you're going to make a fishing game, at least make the action a little more prevalent so that you keep people's interest. So that's my take on it. But sometimes it's like that in here, and then it drops out, and it's like, yeah, I don't have time to waste my whole life sitting here all day staring at water. I'd just go do that for real. And contemplate life staring at the river down there. Or maybe jumping in it to end it. Oh, look at that bass. There's my bass right there. Oh, come on, big guy.
Get your shotgun, man. You see a bass and you can't get him with your fishing rod, you just shoot him.
You're right. All right, go back for it. Oh, so you're going to turn a different direction. I hate this game. I'm going to leave it right here while this bass... Yeah, he turned a different direction. They just don't want anything that I got that this game says that they want. I don't get it. I'll try one last time for him with the popper on top.
You have to be a bass master.
Bro, I catch bass like all day here. I was catching the smallmouth and largemouth in here. It just won't give me the fish I need. Now I'm just not catching anything in here, and it's rather boring and frustrating.
You have to be a certified bass master.
Mm-hmm. Kiss my bass.
I'll bring it back.
All right, where did that fish go? Hate you, game. Just blindly cast out there. Oh, we got the crank on there. I thought we had the popper. Hang on. I don't even see that huge bass we were looking at now. Dirty heifers. Yeah, see, 3 looks just way too slow for a popper. That looks more realistic.
I don't know what that thing from YouTube was. It came up on the bottom of the screen, and I went to click on it. It was gone.
I hate that. It wasn't about your stream, was it?
No, I'm not even on YouTube on my stream.
You ought to. We're picking up followers and viewers over there. I think I'm up to 14 now or something. Subscribers, that is.
Well, I just started. I think it's 8 days now.
Well, I'm only like a week and a half ahead of you. And I was doing it on a slow PC at first.
Yeah, I think I'm doing pretty good for all longer I've been doing.
Oh, no doubt. I'm going to give him some credit again here, even though he doesn't know me. But it's like that guy Fooster on YouTube, man. I started watching him, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years ago, whenever it was he started. I don't even remember the game now. It was a survival game. Like, it's kind of like Myst, but it wasn't Myst. But anyway, I mean, he's got like almost 1 million subscribers now. It's like 97 or 970,000 or something, or 978,000. I forget. But it's like, if he can do that, you know, in a year's time, it just goes to show, man, anybody really can. But he did a video the other day about that. He was like, kind of just a thank you thing, that he had never had any idea that, you know, doing what he loved to do online would turn into what it has.
Well, I changed the name of my channel from Trip Killers Fun Times to back to what it usually used to be. And it used to be Here Comes Trouble.
Nice.
That used to be the name of my channel. And so I went back to the original channel, name.
I think I remember Claudia saying that. Or trying, she's like, here comes trouble. Yeah, I can remember her saying it. So maybe she saw that on your profile somewhere back in the day.
Yeah, that's what I've always called my, well, I had a clan before a gaming clan, and that's the name of it, HTC, which stands for Here Comes Trouble.
Well, you said TC, but I know what you meant. HCT, yeah.
Yeah, HCT, yeah, Here Comes Trouble.
All right, stream. Well, I'm going to end this one here, and I'm going to head hunting because this is boring. But I appreciate you joining if you did. We hope to catch you on the next one. The Virginian out.